Hello, everybody. Now, my book, Facts versus Fiction, The True Story of the Jonathan Years, Chibok 2015, and the Conspiracies, has been out for about less than a week now, I think about 4 days. And already in 24 hours, it became a number 4 bestseller in the political books category. And in 48 hours, it became a number 1 bestseller in 2 categories on Amazon, conspiracy theories and on international business and investment. I was surprised it got there. It was number 1. But you know, it's a book that you should get, and I'm so grateful. Amazon has been doing a great job. They're promoting the book, and the book is now out as an ebook. It came out yesterday as an ebook, so you can buy it instantly and read, and just get the details. This book, it's really a book that every Nigerian needs to read to understand what's been happening in this country, to understand how people in this country, or rather in our country, have been manipulated, to find out the things that were hidden from you by propaganda. You really need to get this book. That's the book here, Facts versus Fiction, The True Story of the Jonathan Years, Chibok 2015, Chibok 2015 and the Conspiracy. You need to get this book. One thing I'll tell you about this book, in researching this book, I actually spoke to people. I spoke to a deputy director in the Obama administration, a deputy director in the National Intelligence Council, in charge of the second in command for Africa, and then in charge of Nigeria expert Matthew Page. I quoted him in the book. I also spoke with a number of other people. But one of the things and this is in the public domain. You can actually go and find out in 2014, actually exactly on March 18, 2014, Obama's National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, she met with a couple of governors, one of them, Borno State Governor. She met with them in the White House. And at this meeting, the Borno State Governor gave a very, 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 very terrible anti-Jonathan, let's say, statement or speech, or just it was just an anti-Jonathan meeting. He was there along with Murtala and Yako, and they first and foremost, they accused Jonathan of sponsoring Boko Haram, which was obviously not true. They said so many other things. This meeting held 2014, March 18, at the White House. Before then, they had met at the State Department. This was under the Obama administration. Now, Obama's National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, some of you may know her if you're old enough, if you're my age, some of you may not know her. Susan Rice was the person who came to Nigeria with Ambassador Pickering and some other persons when Abdulsalami Abubakar, and by the way, happy birthday, General Abdulsalami Abubakar. He's 75 years old today, when he was a military head of state. And then they met with Abiola, and she was the one who actually made the tea. She was the one who actually made the tea and served to Chief Abiola. And after Chief Abiola drank that tea, he began foaming in the mouth and he died. Now, I'm not saying that she did anything. I don't know if she did, but this was a sequence of events. And this same woman became National Security Advisor, met with the Borno State Governor, March 18, 2014. Less than a month later, on April 14, 2014, Chibok happened. The Chibok girls were kidnapped. Now just look at it. They went for a meeting with Obama's National Security Advisor, discussing anti-Jonathan talk, accusing Jonathan of being behind Boko Haram, which the Americans knew was not true, saying all manner of things, accusing him, saying that, like he had to go, they were not going to support him. And then, after meeting with Obama's National Security Advisor, less than a month later, Chibok happened. And then look at the Chibok story. Just look at it. I was able to trace 2 Chibok girls, 2 of them, right here in America. I'm not going to mention their names. I'm not going to mention where they are. It's part of my deal. I traced 2 of them. Chibok actually happened. Don't let anybody deceive you that there was no kidnap. There was a kidnap. I interviewed the girl. Chibok actually happened. But the circumstances of the kidnap, the circumstances of it, just ask them. I mean, and funny enough, you see the current administration, the girls that have been released, see the way they've been sequestered. Now, I interviewed those girls. I traced them down, and then I got them interviewed. We researched this. And what we found out, when you read it in this book, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. Contradictory evidence. Even in the book, you see that the government, the federal government, the Jonathan administration, the current governor of Rivers State, when he was Minister of State for Education, actually wrote the Borno State governor and said, do not hold exams at these places, Chibok inclusive. And the Borno State governor, he did not even acknowledge the letter. He went on and he held exams there. A man called Eguridu, who was the WAEC boss at that time, not the overall boss, I think he was in charge of administration or something, he contacted the Borno State governor and said, look, do not hold exams in Chibok. And then even if you maybe you feel that we want to cheat you, what you can do is get buses, go there, put the girls in those buses, and then bus them to Maiduguri, which is safer, and hold exams there. And then he refused. He said, and this is what he told the WAEC, that I will provide adequate security for them. There was no security at Chibok. No security at all. Even their principal was not there. She said she had gone to Maiduguri for a scheduled medical appointment. Now, what kind of principal schedules a medical appointment on the day of WAEC exams? I mean, some of you must have written WAEC exams. That's the most important day in any Nigerian school. And then this principal said she scheduled a non-threatening medical medical appointment for that day, and so she was not around. But when she was speaking to Fox News, she changed her story. She said that no, she had gone to Maiduguri to buy medicines. But all that may well be, But when you look at the circumstances of the case, and I put it all there in this book, Facts versus Fiction: The True Story of the Jonathan Years. You should get this book. It's on Amazon.com. You can get it, and then they'll mail it to you. Or if Amazon is too slow, because Amazon they take their time, you can go on my website. You can go at renoomokri.org. That's my name, Reno Omokri. You guys all know me. My name is Reno Omokri. Now put my names together, renoomokri.org, and then you can buy it on my website. And then if you live in Nigeria, you'll get it within 2 days, I believe. Let's just add one more day, maybe within 3 days. If you live in the United States, you'll get it definitely within 2 days. If you live in Europe, you'll get it within 10 days. If you live in South Africa, you get it within 10 days. If you live in Ghana, you get it within 10 days. If you live in Australia, you get it within 10 days. Now, it's important. A lot of things that were detailed here. One of the things there is like the reason why the Obama administration turned against Jonathan was because Jonathan signed the same-sex prohibition bill of 2013. Now, for Obama's second term, he reached a deal with the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. They supported him, but they gave a condition: you must move against any government overseas that comes against their people, that is the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. And then when Jonathan signed that bill, he signed that bill, I believe, January 13, 2014, they turned against him. And that's the reason why that administration did everything that they could to remove him. And you can see that the governors that were against Jonathan, they invited them to America. Obama's national security advisor met with them, particularly the Borno State governor. And then less than a month after that meeting, Chibok happened. And then there were a number of other things that when you read this book, you find out about those other things. It's available as an ebook. So if you go on Amazon, if you don't want to wait for it, you can actually order it as an ebook and read it instantly. You can read it instantly. Or you can just go to my website, renoomokri.org, and order it, and then you're going to get it wherever you are in the world. We'll make sure you get it. In Nigeria, 2 days. There's so many things there. When you read this book, you begin to see how our people were manipulated, seriously manipulated. Do you know that according to one of my sources, who was an intelligence analyst in the Obama administration, high up there, he used to brief the president, and then he told me that even their ambassador in Nigeria at that time, in 2015, from 2014 to 2015, he wrote and advised the Obama administration, do not support the Buhari Buhari administration, and he listed reasons. Now, this is not. This is just history. I'm not saying I'm not against or for the Buhari administration. I'm just stating he listed the reasons. The White House overruled him. The White House overruled him, and they went against Jonathan just because Jonathan signed that. And the man told me, because I asked him directly, I said, was the Obama administration against the Jonathan administration? And then he hesitated, and then he told me, he gave me the reasons why they are in the book. And then you go forward, you see how they used people like Rotimi Amechi, the current Minister of Transport, and you see how he was used. And then Rotimi Amechi is just a person who, he doesn't think about his people, he doesn't think about the wider things. He's just interested in his personal ambition, his personal achievements, and because of that he betrays, he does a lot of things. When you read this book, you just begin to see how we were manipulated, how our economy was tanked. You talk about, okay, well now we are in recession, and they begin to say, oh, it was Jonathan's fault. That's not true. This man, the President Muhammadu Buhari, he went about, after he was elected, he went about saying, for instance, he went to England, he said that Nigerians were the reason why Nigerians were not being welcomed in England is because our people are criminals. He said so. He said to February of 2016 to the Telegraph of London. He went to England, he went to India for an economic summit. Now you're going to India for an economic summit to invite to investors to your country, and here's what you're telling them, that my country is corrupt, my people are corrupt. How do you expect them to come? He went to America, he said the same thing, and then when he said that foreign direct investments coming into Nigeria dried up. Nigeria under Jonathan was the #1 destination for foreign direct investment in Africa. Foreign direct investment dried up. And then now this man is saying that, okay, we are in recession. Why are we in recession? You are telling people all around the world that my country is useless, my people are corrupt, I'm the only good person in my country. Why will they come to your country? You need to read this book. It's very important. Every Nigerian should get a copy of this book. Every Nigerian should get a copy of this book. You can get this book on Amazon.com. You can get it in hardcover. You can get it as a paperback. This is the paperback edition. The hardcover was redrawn when it became a bestseller because they want to put the bestseller certificate on the hardcover. Or you can get it as a Kindle book, as an ebook, in which case you read it immediately. Or better still, go to my website, renoomokri.org, and order the book. The revelations in this book will blow your mind. I assure you it will blow your mind. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. We pray for President Muhammadu Buhari to recover quickly, to come and undo the damage that he's made in our economy. We also pray that he's able to lead this country, but you need to know the truth, because the Bible says you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. God bless you. Bye-bye.